yeah, I don't know how to start this video, so I'm just gonna start with my mom is dead. No, this isn't a joke. I'm only composed because I've been breaking down for the past 2 days. And I don't have any tears left, so I don't. Yeah, I just don't. I think she died in her sleep because she had lung problems and like her diaphragm was weird, and she also smoked, so she had really bad lung problems, and she was also sick the last time I called her, so she was like pretty like, you know, when you're sick, like you don't exactly like have good like breathing anyways, but add on to her already pre-existing problems, like that's bad. And then she's also like overweight, so like if she was laying on her back, like if there's too much weight on her chest, like I think that could have like stopped her breathing, and she might have like died in her sleep from that. I don't know. I actually don't know how she died yet because the coroner still needs to do an autopsy. I don't even know when she died. They just called us and were like, she was found unresponsive, and I was like, okay. Yeah. And of all times, I was with my dad because we were driving back from Arizona, and it's like a 12-hour drive from there to here, and we'd already been driving for like 6 hours, so we had like 6 hours left, but like because of like just I couldn't handle anything, like my dad was just kind of like, okay, why don't we go to a hotel? And I was like, okay. But my dad doesn't have any empathy or like emotional attachment to people, even his own like family. Like he just doesn't. He thinks he does, but he doesn't. Like, you know, he doesn't. And he's like incredibly like self-absorbed and like thinks that like people are privileged to be around him, and like he's just this amazing person. And so when like when they called and they told me that my mom died, like I just obviously like broke down because like she was one of the closest people to me, like, and we were building up a relationship. Like it's like messed up that like of all times she had to die now, like, you know, like it's just like really. But then my dad of course like didn't know how to respond to me breaking down, so he just kind of kept silent and like continued playing music on the radio, and like we had 6 hours of a drive left, and I was just kind of like, Dad, I can't do this, like can we please go to a hotel or something? And he was like, okay. And then we went to a hotel like 2 hours after 2 hours of driving, after I found out about my mom. And then once in the hotel, like he still didn't know really how to respond, so he just kind of like watched TV while I was like breaking down on the bed next to him. And like I just, yeah. He just has no, like, he's not a bad person. He's just like, he has a lot of like problems, you know, and like he can't be there for me unless he's gone through the like confronted and like tried to fix his problems, but he doesn't even like know how to understand that he even has problems or accept them. And so, and for a while, I mean, you watched the last video, like I had come up with a plan, like I was trying to understand him and I was trying to like help, you know, and like little ways, and like try and keep our relationship as much as I could. But once my mom died and like he just literally gave me no support at all, I like finally understood that like he's like, if he can't give me support in like probably one of the worst days of my entire life, like how is he going to support me through the rest of my life? Like he's not, you know, unless he changes, and I can't make him change, and all he's going to do is hurt me if I stay around him, so I can't especially not now. Like, I'm so vulnerable right now. Like, I can't handle him, you know, like, it just, I can't. I was oh bad. So bad. um and then after the hotel, like, we continued driving back to Sacramento, and like the only thing keeping me together was like, I'm gonna be home, I'm gonna be in my bed, I'm gonna be in my safe place, like, please, like, I just need to be home, like, I can't stand this. Because like, grief, when it hits you, it's like, it's not like shock, it's not like, well, I mean, I guess it's kind of shock, but like, it was like everything hurt. Like, it was like, I've been like, it's so hard to explain because like, I've felt physical pain from emotional pain before, but not like this. Like this, it was like my entire body was being stabbed. Like, everything hurt. Like, my head hurt, my eyes hurt, like, my heart, like, everything. Like, it was like someone just like decided to like cut me everywhere, and like, I couldn't, like, it was just like, I was just, oh my god, it was so, like, I am so bad. So bad. And of course, like, my dad didn't know how to support me, and he doesn't understand or empathize at all, so like, he just kind of stayed silent and like just let me do my own thing, which, when you're grieving, the worst thing is to be alone. Like, that's the absolute worst thing. Like, you cannot leave somebody alone when they're grieving. Like, that's not okay. But he doesn't understand that because like, he can't empathize, and he's never grieved anyone before. So, because his mom, although she has dementia and she's fading away, she's still alive. And he can't even comprehend that she's fading away. He's just kind of like, oh yeah, she's a little sick, it's fine. Like, he can't, he just can't do it. Like, you know, like, it's really like sad, actually. But like, he doesn't understand or empathize at all, and like, he just, I don't know, like, I don't know how to explain it, but like, it's too sad, you know. But I like, talked to a few of my friends, and they really helped me out a little bit, and then I called my uncle, but my uncle was kind of shocked by the news as well, and he didn't really know how to handle it. But and then I called my aunt Tiffany, because she's my mom's sister, like, she deserves to know. And she, like me, was like shocked and like didn't know how to process it and was like devastated. But then like, and I'm really grateful because like, she's gonna fly out here, and like, she's gonna like be with me and like prepare for the funeral and everything, and like, we're gonna support each other, you know, as much as we can, because she's the only, like, I'm her only family left, like, you know, like she has her daughters, but one of her daughters hates her, well, doesn't hate her, but she's like going through teen angst, and like, she is upset with my aunt's mistakes when we were younger, and so she doesn't trust my aunt, and she doesn't want to have any contact with her, even though my aunt's changed a lot. Like, she just doesn't trust her, which I can understand. Like, I get it. Like, I like, probably understand more than she can ever understand. Like, or know, you know. But, and I really wanted to help her. I mean, I do want to help her, but like, right now is not the time. But, yeah, but I just like felt so broken, and like, everything hurt, and like, my dad was basically just ignoring me because he doesn't understand like real problems, and he can't empathize with people, so he doesn't know how to like do anything for you. So he just kind of ignored me because he can't like accept a problem, and that was like even worse, and made me feel even more alone, because I didn't just lose one parent, I lost both. But the difference was, while my mom was trying, and we were actually building a relationship, my dad and I never really had a real relationship to begin with. And it was just coming around to that fact that was really hard for me. But like this, like my mom's death, like made me realize like nothing, not even my grief is gonna make him change. Like he has to change for himself, and I can't do anything for him. Just like he obviously doesn't want to or can't do anything for me. So but I called my aunt and like I told her, and she was like devastated and stuff, and we talked it out, and I was like trying to, because I read a few articles on like how to deal with like grieving and like mourning and stuff, and like the 5 stages of grief, like denial, like all this stuff. I don't really remember it to be honest. But I mean, one of the things that they said was to talk about your loved one. Even though they've passed, it's good to remember the good memories. Unfortunately, a lot of the good memories that I have with my mom are kind of warped by like my childhood. Like a lot of things that I thought were good as a kid, like I now know they were not healthy, even though they were like affection and they were like good intentions for my mom. Like they weren't healthy either. They were a lot better than her neglect or abuse, but like they weren't healthy either, you know? Like her rapture with me was not healthy. But I know that she really truly loved me, and I truly loved her, and like we had like love between us, and that's what's important, and that's what we were trying to base like our real relationship on, and how we were trying to grow together. But it abruptly stopped, you know, because she's gone. Yeah, but anyways, my my aunt like kind of, I love my aunt, don't get me wrong, but I feel like she has a lot of guilt over the things that she's done, and so to compensate for that, she like does everything she can think of to help a person, and she takes responsibility for things that like aren't really her place sometimes, and it's kind of like, you don't need to do that, but I appreciate it, but you don't need to do that. In this case, where she's flying over here to like have us together, that's a really good thing. Like that's healthy, like that's good, and she can also like help prepare the funeral and stuff with my uncle, because like he, like they need to work together, because like I can't do it obviously, and my aunt knows my mom too, so like she knows what she would have wanted, you know, and my uncle can like set up the like semantics and the specifics of everything, and like yeah. But so that part's good. The part that is hard though is she feels so guilty that she's taking responsibility for something that isn't her place again. And that's like, she's kind of like talking about how like I'm like going to be your mom now, like I'm gonna like fill your parental role, and I'm just kind of like, no, like I love you, but no, like I don't need a parent. I've never really had one, you know, like I just want somebody to love me for me, and me to love them for them, and like us to have a genuine relationship and someone that I can depend on, but not as a parent, as an equal. Like I want people to depend on me as much as I depend on them. Like I don't want a parent, okay? I'm almost 17, almost 18. Like I can have people like guide me and like lecture me and like tell me like if I'm doing something wrong, or like if I'm doing something right, encourage me, but do not parent me, okay? Like I'm not a child, okay? And I haven't been a child for a very long time. So I do not want a parent, okay? I want someone to depend on, and you to depend on me as well. I want an equal. I want a relationship with someone as an equal, as like family, not parent, okay? And when she comes over here and she's like gonna try and like baby me, I'm gonna have to like tell her like I love you and we're gonna continue this relationship, obviously, because we're our only family left, but you cannot, you aren't my parent, okay? You're my aunt and you are someone important to me, obviously, but you're not my parent. Like, you're not, you can never supply a parental role for me because I'm almost an adult and I have felt like an adult a long time. Like, I can't even remember feeling like a child, which is really sad now that I think about it, but I just haven't. Like, my whole life, like, I had childish moments and I had times where like I had fun like a child, but I never truly felt like a kid, like, ever. Like, my first memory is like my parents fighting and like then after that like drugs, and like there are inklings of like good memories in between those things, but like a majority of it is bad, you know, like it's not happy. So I had to grow up and I had to face that because like as a kid, like I had to take care of myself, so like I couldn't just like sit there in a ball and die. I had to do things for myself, and I had to do things for my cousin too because they weren't taking care of us, so I had to do it. And I was like 7 or 8 and she was 4 or 5, like she was really little. So it's like not great. But I did it, you know, and yeah. But and again, I don't have any like animosity between my mom. Like I do understand that a lot of the things that she did to me, she wasn't herself. Like it was all of her mental illness or her drugs or her alcohol. Like it wasn't her hurting me. It was her problems hurting me. And I do think that she genuinely was a really good person and she really loved me and she tried to live for me and fight for me as much as she could. And she really tried, you know, and I will never like forget that, you know. She taught me how to survive. Even if she didn't teach me in the way that she wanted to, she did teach me how to survive, and I'm very grateful for that, you know. Yeah. And I will always love her, you know, like even though she's gone, like I will always love her, and like it's gonna be hard to not have her around. You know, and I think I talked about this before, but like we were gonna get matching tattoos when I graduated so we could always remember each other by them. And it was because when I was little and I would go visit my dad, she would draw like a red heart on my hand. And like I would kiss it anytime like I missed her, and like imagine her kissing her heart too when she missed me. And like that was just kind of our thing. And so I wanted to have those hearts like as tattoos and like always be together and always be connected. And I still want that tattoo, but it's probably gonna be like a really embarrassing tattoo because I'm probably gonna be like sobbing the entire time because I wanted to do it with my mom and I can't anymore, which is like, it really hurts, you know, like it really yeah. I mean, like I said, like I probably would be crying right now, like if I hadn't cried like pretty much for 48 hours straight, like almost. Like I've had like short little periods of time, like maybe a couple hours at most, where I was like kind of just a zombie, or I was like okay-ish, and talking, but like I wasn't like, I was kind of like this, like I'm okay, but like I still feel the pain. It's just that like I've cried so much that like my tears like are like, okay, we need to stop because like you physically can't cry anymore. Like it's gotten to that point, you know, like so yeah, it's bad. But yeah, and I, keep getting calls from like distant family members, most of them on my mom's side, telling me that they love me and like they're so worried about me. And some of them I know don't actually care or don't even really know me. They're just saying it because like to save face or to be like, hi, I care, or like, look at me, I'm a good family member. I'm just like, you hadn't been there like my whole life. You hadn't been there for my mom, and you, pretty much everyone on my mom's side has some form of like drug abuse or alcohol abuse or like mental health issues, like almost every single person. So like they probably understood my mom's problems a lot more than I could have, and they probably could have helped her, you know, or at least somewhat understood her, you know, but they didn't, and they didn't reach out to us like hardly ever. Even when we were living in Virginia, like they didn't really care at all. So like I just don't really have any like love for them or like really care or sympathy for them, because if they're dealing with a loss, part of it is their own fault and their own doing, because they didn't help us when we needed them, you know. Like they didn't help my mom and they didn't help me, because by helping me you had to have helped my mom, because like she was sick and me living with her while she was sick was not a good idea. But they could have helped, but they didn't. And like I will always kind of hold like a little bit of like resentment towards them. Obviously I'm not gonna like hold a huge grudge and be like, oh my god, I hate them so much, blah 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 blah. But like I do kind of like pity them, because like their entire lives, like what have they done for us? Like they haven't, and they're probably gonna have to, if they can even feel guilt, to be honest. But they will, if they can feel guilt, like they will feel guilt about abandoning us for the rest of their lives, because they left me, a helpless child, in the hands of a very sick person, my mom. And she needed help and they didn't help her, you know. And they could have. They very well could have. Like a lot of them are wealthy, or at least have enough money to help, but they didn't, because they didn't care, you know. And that for me is like, why are you pretending to care now? Like I don't even want them to show up at the funeral, because like they didn't care enough about us when she was alive, and now they're gonna pretend that they care when she's dead. Like, no, that's fucking disrespectful. Like, get the fuck out. Like, no. Like, but to be honest, like the actual people that really cared about us is very small. And I don't know, it'd be kind of embarrassing or sad to like have only the real people that cared about us at the funeral, because there would be like hardly anyone. So I guess they're there for numbers. I don't know. I don't really care about them, and they didn't care about me or my mom, obviously, so I don't know why they're even showing up. But like they're going to show up, and I'm just gonna have to talk to them. Which is like, oh, I'm good at faking things and I'm good at lying. I like hate saying that, but like it's true. Like I was a pathological liar for the majority of my life. Like I know how to lie and I know how to fake shit. I don't like doing it, but I can do it. So I'm just gonna have to like pretend to be like a happy little kid that my family is here. Like, no, oh, it's gonna be fucking hard. Like I'm gonna like struggle not to strangle one of them or all of them, or like just, is mass murder a bad thing? You know, maybe, but like, like the nerve of them, the audacity, like they really just want to pretend that everything's fine, that they loved us the entire time. No, like you did not care when we were alive, okay? And now you're gonna care when I'm broken and she's gone? No, I don't want you, okay? Like you can take your half-assed, like half-baked, like fake love and shove it up your ass, because like you no, fuck you, no. Anyways, so yeah, but I really want my close friends to be there for me, and I want my uncle and my aunt to be there, and I don't want my dad there. I'm like probably going to explicitly say I don't want you there, because like with her family, like I don't really know them that well, but I know them enough to know that they really didn't care and they didn't support us. But I know for a legitimate fact that my dad didn't care one rat's ass about her or even me. So he literally has no business showing up. So I'm going to literally, if I have to, like, get security guards and be like, he is not entering this building. Like, he is not going to the funeral. But honestly, like, the minute I tell him, like, I don't want him at the funeral, he's probably going to get all offended and, like, immature and be like, oh, I wasn't planning on going anyways, because that's the kind of person he is. So I probably won't have to, like, hire security or anything to, like, bar him out of the fucking, like, thing. But, like, if I have to, I will. Like, do not cross me, okay? I will do it if I have to. Like, no. Like, no. You are not. I don't know. I'm just like... The amount of people in our lives that have pretended to care or didn't care and then now are pretending to care is insane. Like, it's insane. The amount of people that don't love or care about people when they're truly feeling pain is just, like, astounding and, like, depressing and kind of like, what the actual fuck is wrong with humanity? Because, like, it's just fucked up, you know? Like, it's really fucked up. But that's my family. By blood, but not anything else. Like, I don't consider them my family. I consider them, like, just... I do not consider them family, and I have never considered them family. So, why start now? They're not worth it. So, they can show up, but I'm not gonna... I might not even, like, approach them, because, like, I don't know if I can even fake it. You know, I'm good at faking stuff, but, like... I know my mom wouldn't want me to, so I might not even, like, do it. I might not even approach them. If they approach me, I can just be like, I'm gonna, like, probably ignore them. Because, like, they can show up and show their so-called support for my mom, but I'm not gonna show support for them because I know that their support isn't genuine, you know? It was never genuine. Like, just, no. You fuck off. Like, no. So, yeah. But anyways, I'm gonna continue being a depressed, grieving child, because that's all I can really do. Yeah. But my uncle is really helping. Like, he helped a lot last night. Like, he came over and, like, oh my god. He's helped me so much, and I love him so much, and, like, he's, like, oh my god, I, like, trust him more than I trust anybody else in my life, which is, like, saying a lot. Because it takes a lot for me to trust somebody, but someone that I wholeheartedly trust, and I don't think I've ever really fully trusted someone before, but I do trust him, like, with everything. Like, everything that I've hit him with, like, because I do this thing a lot, like, I try and push people away by exposing a lot of, like, my dirty, like, secrets, and, like, things that I find disgusting about myself, and that I know people will be freaked out about, especially, like, the pain and, like, things that I've gone through. They're kind of like, I don't know how to handle that, I'm gonna run. And a lot of people do that, and it's kind of like a defense mechanism, like, well, I got more, like, dirty dishes for you to, like, look at, and if you're disgusted, go ahead and run, because I'm waiting for it. I'm always waiting for somebody to leave. I'm always waiting for somebody to hurt me. But I've literally thrown everything at my uncle. Everything. Like, everything. And he's always, like, nothing phases him. Like, I mean, it shocks him, but he still loves me, and he, like, still cares, you know? Which is, like, just, like, I don't, like, know how to word how much I, like, appreciate that. Like, it's not something that I've ever had before, you know? And, like, he's literally the most important person in my life right now. And, like, I can't imagine continuing my life without him now. So, yeah. And he doesn't need to be there for me. Like, you know, like, it's not his responsibility to be there for me. Like, he literally is my uncle. Like, my own father isn't there for me. Like, my aunt is there for me out of guilt. Like, you know, like, I love my aunt, but I think a lot of it is, like, I'm blood family and I'm her only family left, and she's guilty over it. But And even my mom, like, I feel like a lot of it was I'm her only family left, and, like, she was really attached to me, and I know she really loved me, but I think it was kind of, like, a, like, part of her, like, extreme attachment to me, it was her mental illness. I know that. But I know that deep down she truly loved me, you know. But, like, a lot of the way that she showed it was not healthy. But, and with my dad, I don't even think he can love. Not until he gets help. But he's probably not going to get help. So he's just never going to love, which is really sad. Like, that's, like, really sad. Like, I'm really, like, I pity him a lot, because, like, he's never going to love anybody. Not even his own daughter, you know? Like, that's sad. But I can't help him. I need to help myself, you know? And he's not going to change just because I want him to. He needs to change for himself, and if he can't accept that he has problems, he's not going to be able to change, so. Yeah, but, like, my uncle just, like, isn't, like, amazing. Like, I don't even, like, know how to. He's not perfect. He has a lot of flaws. Okay, trust me, like, he's a lot. But he's always there for me. And that's what's important, you know? Like, he's always been there for me. From, like, the first day that I truly met him and really knew him, like, he's always been there, you know? Just, like, I've never had that before. Like, every single person in my life has either ignored me or neglected or abandoned me in some way or another, or hurt me, like, physically or verbally or however. Even the people that I love the most, like my mom, like, she couldn't help it, but still, she did hurt me a lot. But he hasn't. I know eventually, like, obviously you can't go through life without ever being hurt by somebody that you love, but, like, so far, he's always been there for me. So, like, I don't know how to. It's just amazing. Like, why does he love me? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm not worth it. But, like, he, for some reason, loves me. And I can't let that go, you know? Like, I really. I can't. Like, it's the best thing that's ever happened in my life, and I don't want to let it go. So, I'm not. I'm going to continue living for him and for my mom and for my aunt and for the other people in my life that really love me, because now that I know what grief is, like, I can't do that to other people. Like, I can't. It's not something that I can do. Because I always thought about suicide as, like, a selfish act. Like, I always thought, like, no, I can't do that because, like, it's cruel, you know? But I never really understood how cruel it was until I experienced grief, and then I was like, okay, yeah, I definitely. Because, like, honestly, I kind of